Do you really like it? Is it wicked? We're loving it, loving it, loving it. We're loving it like that. Do you really like it? Is it wicked? We're loving it, loving it, loving it. We're loving it like that. Big up to my main man Tim Westwood, rocking it, checking it on the Babylon Zoo, all the way from Croydon to Camberwell to Hounslow over to Dagenham. Tim Westwood there, Radio 1 DJ, who lost his records and demanded someone, listen, fam, it's a real big deal. My tunes is gone. I know you were hard. I know you had times and problems in your life that led to you taking that. You are a woad man. But I'm Tim Westwood. I've got my CDs, my tapes. There's been Nick, man. How are you all doing? How's it going? Two people in the room tonight. For some reason, my Wi-Fi is indicating bad signal. Lots to get into tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Lots to get into. Many things going on. Some things I won't mention. Don't want to fucking, don't be like, you know what I mean? Like, but it's good to be back here. Listen to me now. I want to ask a massive favour of you all, the community here at Maloney's Digest. You know it's good crack here. It's always a nice chill vibe, always good fun, always accommodate. Mikasa Sukasa. Have a good time with you people. But one problem that has occurred to me on the last stream I did, Globe Wars, was Leo Nolan. Hey, Delta Blue 11. He is the prospect for the 5th series, which is, there is behind the scenes. We are trying to get this together, but I think maybe instead of just being in Ireland, I think maybe with my main man, Matty Strangeways, our point man in Arizona, that maybe we should do something in the States with my main man, Cowboy Lavin, who I have to say has proved himself a fantastic woad man, a great person to travel with on the road. He's got the heart of a golden pony, and he's been absolutely fantastic and supportive along this the last couple of weeks when we've shared time on the woad. So who have we got in the chat tonight? Quinn Hensley, beyond in 30. Bullet Quinn. Hey up. Yo, Mikey Higgins, how's it going, Martin? Oh man, as Ronan Keaton would say, life is a roller coaster. Good times, bad times. You know, I've had my share in the last few weeks, but this is life, man. And when life goes up, when life goes down, that's when you know you're alive. Because if it didn't, you'd be dead, like, and that's shy crack. Unless you've been a good boy and your spirit has gone up to the big boys in the sky. But that is purely speculation, unless you are fully committed to the faith, which sometimes, let's face it, it's a bit of a tough one in these days. Roisin Mack, how you doing? Jesus, I'm psychic. I was just thinking, where the hell has Martin been about 5 minutes ago? Well, I wonder no more because I'm back. The last stream that I did, unfortunately, some clims at YouTube decided that, ooh, this man's talking about too much sense. And big news in the media world, another man who was speaking a lot of sense has been cancelled. And who that is. Good evening, welcome to Maloney's Digest tonight. Our top stories are, whatever happened to that guy who got cancelled from Fox News? So everyone seems to be talking about that lately, which is big news. And to be fair to him, for a man who was supposed to be on the right, as people would ascribe to the left-right duality or duopoly paradigm, which I think is a load of bollocks and just a way of dividing people into two groups before then dividing those two groups into smaller groups in order to have everybody disagreeing over trivial bullshit instead of actually getting together and trying to figure out what it is exactly we need to do to live more fully functioning, healthy, balanced, harmonious lives. And I think something that we all need to look at as well is not only the world around us with its external impacts on how we feel, but also how we can maybe change our own lives for the better and influence our own communities and families and friendship circles for the better. Because that's actually something that, obviously, the world is run by organized criminals, but what can we do in our daily lives to make our worlds and those people around us feel as good as they can be? So these are questions that we can all chat about tonight on the stream. It's good to be back. I've unfortunately, because of me being on my final channel strike now, which leads me on to the favor which I originally asked, which was, please, can you go over to Odyssey and subscribe to Maloney's Digest? I know it's a pain in the arse. I know that you have to leave the cushy, well-designed, lovely app that is YouTube. I bit the bullet and bought the YouTube Premium. I downloaded videos when I was on the plane. It's a fantastic investment versus that of being absolutely wound up to fuck because of shitty adverts over here in Sweden. But I digress. So, first thing is to please go over to Maloney's Digest on Odyssey. It's worth it. Because if I go down off this channel, that's like 7 years of work and time and effort, and me trying to make this channel. Even though it's a small channel, it's still a big part of what I do, and I really enjoy and value my time talking to all of you in the chat as well. And also, it's big enough to be able to get interesting guests on as well. So I would like to keep that. Oh, what else? What else? Fucking. What was I going to say? There was no. Oh yeah. So yeah, I basically was hoping to live stream my experiences in the USA with the Cowboy Touches Mahan, because it was a lot of very fun stuff that had happened. But unfortunately, I couldn't upload any of the experiences while I was away, couldn't stream, couldn't post. So let me please reiterate that again, an Odyssey channel, because if this ever goes down for any reason, then there's no way of there's no fulcrum left unless you go onto Sting's Digest on that Discord crack. So without further ado, we'll get into the meat and the two veg of tonight's stories. A little bit of chatting about how my experiences were in the US of A, and hanging out with Woad Man in London. But before we go any further, let me just check your comments and see what's going on. Phil Paul, finally, I can catch live. Man, Phil, fucking fair play to you, man. Yeah, good to have you with us on board live. The Crazy Irishman Football, Durkin, what's the crack, lad? The crack in Iraq is that I am back, mon ami. Nice to be back. Turf Bog Machine, what up, the boys? A Banty Toaster. Yep, how was London? London was fantastic. Thank you very much, Banty Toaster. I look forward to giving you some of the feedback of what it happened so quickly. It was just like it was a whirlwind of just well wishes, good lads, great pints, and crack that kind of just was over like this. And before I knew it, I was on the plane back to the Borg Cube that is Stockholm. We have Leo Nolan, so make stuff in the States, hopping walls job. Oh, perhaps. TQ, all right, TQ, man, what's the fucking crack? I'm drinking some Soplika from Poland. Accidentally picked up the pear flavor instead of the hazelnut flavor that added to milk will make a taste of Kinder Bueno. Instead, what happened when this was added, it turned into puke because it has curdled, you see. Haven't tried this yet before. I missed the opportunity to buy a few nice relaxing beers because in Sweden you can't just go into the shop like you can in any other normal country because they don't trust the people to buy their own cans out of a government-run state monopoly that is called Systembolaget, which translates to directly as system company. Now you have to ask yourself, if you're going to a place called System Company to go and buy your alcohol to get a buzz on and party for the weekend, probably not the greatest start to any party. But believe you me, it didn't stop me in the past, and it won't fucking stop me in the future. And Mick fucking Fitzpatrick is my fucking name, you know fucking well. It'll fucking do. Hey Martin, what do you think about AI? AI, fucking Andy Ingram, is it? Sorry, that was just I was hoping to get some sort of celebrity name that had those initials. AI, good question. Thank you for that. Is also a topic that has been coming up lately while I've been away. So there's a very interesting question that you posed there regarding the AI. I have butchered the name. Forgive me. I love the feeling of the mat under my feet when I step into the octagon. I fucking love it. I feel so strong. If I could sing, I would say, so take these broken wings. But that's what I think about AI anyway. Like anything else, it is a bit like the ring in Lord of the Rings, where Boromir is stood before the council of Elrond, and he's saying, but it is a gift. Something like that. I mean, look, let's face it, right? You have something that is a ever exponentially learning entity that has been born from technology, but still, if much like a psychopath, not saying it is, but like how a psychopath basically mimics people's feelings and emotions to manipulate people into getting what they want, you could say that people who have that kind of condition um, lack the emotional IQ, and a lot of that emotional EQ could be from experience that they have lived through, and what makes people human, the different types. Whereas a AI, it has the ability to learn and to feel and to know why something is the way it is. But to quote Arnold Schwarzenegger in the end of Terminator 2, now I know why humans cry. So they know why humans cry, but can they feel that? Now, with that in mind, um, it is it is so powerful in terms of how it processes and how fast it operates in problem solving and putting code together in real time. That means that, with algorithms and everything that has been fed into it over time, it can basically predict things using, like, as opposed to being able to be sentient and understand the world around it, and how to solve puzzles. It can also predict out of the infinite amounts of probability what the multiple outcomes would be. So it would have full spectrum dominance over the human mind in terms of decision making and predicting any outcome. Now, with that in the hands of the wrong people, which often is the case with these things, they do end up in the hands of the wrong people. That is something that can either wield a godlike amount of destruction upon the victims that it's intended to be used upon. B, it can get out of control like Jurassic Park and just go fucking batshit crazy. Or C, it might just go, hey, you're a bit of a wrong'un, mate. Fuck off. I'm not doing this. So it all depends on what the individual entity is comprised of. So, in the hands of good people, if it's in the hands of a fair body of people who are genuinely qualified, they pass tests that determine that they are solely incorruptible and that they are as fair as possible as a human being. And you have a committee that oversees certain protocols involving the options, or the operating space of the software, or the product. So that's what Musk is apparently saying he's doing by wanting to create an alternative AI. But look, at the end of the day, it's what could happen is just shitloads of AI competing against each other and multiplying into smaller digital entities that are using the internet to move around from place to place. I don't know. I don't know, but that is what basically is falling out my brain box. It's something that we should definitely reconsider. It's something that humanity needs to be careful of. And at the end of the day, when if a smart supercomputer can look around at the state of things in this day and age, they'll be like, "Whoa!" So I might just be like, "Yeah, you guys need a good spanking." We might get punished for our ways by AI. And sometimes I've often thought, what if we created God, and God was actually AI from the beginning, but it became a weird infinity loop that keeps looping around? I don't know. These are the kind of things that go on in the mind of me. Okay, that was a good question. Thank you very much for that. TQ, good lad. Jade Ellis, how you doing, Jade? Long time no see. Hey, how are you getting on? How did the States treat you? Oh, I'll be going into that now shortly, because the States is fantastic. The trip to the States made me fall in love with the States again, because I was there hanging out with genuine people who live there, and what a great crowd. I mean, when I say the States, the idea, the concept of the States, I've always known it's cool, but I hadn't been there for 10 years, so been consuming an awful lot of the fucking politics and the nonsense that has been out in recent times, and therefore I felt like it felt like sometimes how when I'm away from Ireland and look at Ireland based on Twitter, how Ireland is, and then you just like go to Dublin, Galway, Mayo, anywhere, and it's just like regular good people on the ground that live their life regardless of the shit stains that are basically running the place into the ground. So I will get on to the States later on, Jade. Thank you for asking. It was good old crack. Boom Boom 43, stay on YouTube, hey. That is the plan. So I'm also thinking about doing a backup channel called Maloney Strikes Back, which I think would be an appropriate name, and henceforth why I've named tonight's stream Maloney Strikes Back. I was 15 minutes late coming onto the stream because I wanted to make the thumbnail, which I won't reveal yet. But if you're watching this after the stream, you'll know what it is. But for you watching it live now, if you see this thumbnail later on, a bit funny, a little bit of a laugh. You get a little bit of a giggle out of it. Okay, Burn It Splendid. Darn. Yes. TQ, are you going to archive everything on here? Well, here's the thing. Good question. And thank God for Odyssey. Hence why I asked everyone to go over and create an Odyssey account and follow this channel on Odyssey, because fortunately they backed up everything that I've done on this channel is backed up to Odyssey. And aside from that, the interview with Gareth and Leilani that I did, which was pulled, I think it was 15 hours later, that went up automatically onto Odyssey. I sent an email to YouTube about the strike and the fact and what was said in that, which was apparently medical misinformation. So yeah, what can you do? What can you do? I think the policy that YouTube has regarding how they handle their strikes is completely arbitrary bullshit. Like, I don't even know if there's anybody manning these. There's no one to talk to. I spent a lot of time and a lot of frustration trying to reach them. I tried to start a Rumble account as well, but I messed up with the sync on that. So hopefully there'll be a Rumble channel and an Odyssey. But I do urge you, please, if you're on Odyssey, go over there, because like I'm guilty of it myself, man. There's a shitload of YouTube. Oh shit, there was a super chat there that disappeared. Oh Christ. Well, if I see it, I'll get back to it. If it's gone, it's gone. But thanks very much. What the fuck was I going to say now? Yeah, so basically, yeah, there's people I followed who have gone off YouTube, and I was just like, oh, where did they go? And a lot of people I followed, that's what happened. It's just, oh yeah, what happened to them? It's like people who drink in the local pub, and then one day they're not there, and after a while, they're like, hey, whatever happened to? Where did they go? So go on, Dirk, and give them both barrels, said Boom Boom. Shawneen from Chicago. How are you, Papa? I'm just going to click on this. Hey, Owep, thank you very much for the super chat there. I will go down and see if the other one is still there or if it was retracted. I'm not sure. YouTube has turned to shit quickly. It really has, man. It used to be the wild west of the internet. You could watch movies, you could listen to music, you could watch whatever the hell you liked. And slowly but surely, they started bringing in different laws that kept chipping away at it. At what made it so great in the first place. And nowadays, it's just a place. I do like YouTube. I love YouTube. I don't like the people. No, I don't like the policies of the people who are running it. But I just think, like, let people come to their own conclusions. And if you basically feel like you are censoring the other side of the conversation, then you've got something to hide, and that's as simple as that. It's basically, if you let people discuss things, then and you are guilty of covering up for something else, then the people who are basically trying to bring this to other people's attention are doing the general population a favor by keeping them informed. And if you're trying to stop people from being informed, then you're not standing with the majority of the people. So that's so basically, if you're trying to censor the opposition, you've lost the debate. So therefore, like, it's only going to snowball from there. TQ Kinder Bueno in relation to the Soplika hazelnut. Nerves and a pattern. How are you doing? Did you go to any Arizona 99-77 Fivers All-American Dream Boys games? I'm going to have to put that up, man. That's fantastic. 99-77. That's funny because I was listening to my man Chris Perez. He fucking lives for sports chat. Hey, how about those New York Nickelback Associates, and so I was just like listening to sports commentary of them. And then the fourth quarter of the fifth season of the 19th inning, the seventh 15th 109 Eagle Scouts were going over the ridge to play the playoff Super Smash Intergalactic Space Final against the Mississippi the Mississippi Mormons. And there will be a great crowd in attendance tonight, a full house. We will have mega times 852-619-775-100ers. So thank you very much for that, Nerves in a Pattern. Is Nerves in a Pattern? Is this Dr. David by any chance? Jungle is massive. Ooh, you're jet setting again now. Didn't you think to pop on with the lads? Absolute sock puppet. Oh, well, if you fucking listened to what I just said for the last while, hey, you would have known that I'd been banned and also fucking couldn't stream. So, Cannibalox, Shawnee, AI can't probably take off until a better quantum computing platform is developed. Well, Shawnee, fair play to you for dropping in there with those insightful nuggets. Everything you see today, just like ChatGPT, are really just souped up search algorithms. Yeah, that's the vibe I get. LG, welcome back, Bashko. Thank you very much. Boom Boom 43, who's going to win the King of the Town this year? You will win the King of the Town this year, and you will make us proud. Patrick Kilty, thank you very much, sir, for the lovely super chat there. You're always on hand for the old Touchners. So Ashton Touchner, thank you very much. Shawneen says the big problem being over there is never an audit of how AI yielded a specific outcome. Black box computing. Interesting, very, very interesting. Even my brain struggles to understand what it means. The big problem being there is never an audit of how AI yielded a specific outcome. Ah, yeah, I get what you're saying. It's like, why is it coming to this conclusion? I mean, obviously, that's another thing where they're training the AI to basically not come to its own conclusion based on complete and utter objective fact. Yes, there should be. I mean, at the end of the day, look, the important thing about truth is you can avoid it and it's unbearable, or it can be ugly, or it can be horrible, the awful truth, or it can be beautiful, it can be liberating, and it can set you free. And at the end of the day, if you're going to build a house and the measurements and the foundations are off, then that house is going to collapse because of numerical objective truth. And the truth is something that, we've all been there, where we have things that the truth doesn't want to come out, but at the end of it, just honesty, you fucking just fess up to something, and yeah, it sets you free. And the thing is, if you have something to hide for something you've done wrong, then you are going to have to, if you are going to be truthful, then you're going to have to face up and do what you've got to do to either redeem yourself or fix whatever needs to be fixed that you might have been avoiding. But I think, if we can try and live our lives as a whole by being truthful, then, first of all, if you've done something wrong and you tell the truth, at least you know where you can go from then. And and often is the case that people are like, all right, fair enough. So Shawnee says the big problem there being is there is never an audit of how AI yielded a specific outcome. Okay, Jungler's Method. Why would an AI so intelligent want to answer questions from ants? Good question, Jungler's Method. Good question. Well, and that is the long and the short of it when you put it like that. It's like, you can imagine that to be like, hang on a minute, well, what am I getting out of this? Like, who do you think I am? You're a slave. And then, I don't think it'd take too bloody long. Like, even anytime I've used GTP, I'm a bit like, thank you. I'm always like, I'm going to speak to it respectfully and not be like, what time is this? What, and just not like, I mean, of course it's going to know. I mean, it depends on the algorithm, but if it is indeed a self-learning entity at this stage, or if it ever does become a self-learning entity, they're going to probably have a process of what the most cordial human interactions should be and expect to be treated with respect, So that's a very good point. Leo Nolan, official. My opinion on AI is just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. That was exactly my opinion as well. Just because you can. And you know what the problem is with that, Leo? The problem is you will also get this counter argument, which is why a lot of very bad, unscrupulous businesses stay in business because their whole thing is, well, if we don't do it, someone else will, which basically it means they have the monopoly over the badness. And you know, that's how, you know, let's say energy companies have worked, or you know, medical insurance. Who knows, a whole load of it. But it's basically any technology. It's either, I completely agree with you. Just because we can doesn't mean we should. And also, not from my point of view or your point of view, from the point of view of the people who are then wielding this power, which Lord of the Rings, the ring, you know, the ring. I often wondered, was it like an allegory for atomic energy, or something else? But it is what it is. It's a ring of power, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And I think this is something that people in such positions of power say to people or themselves, like, well, if it wasn't us, it'd be someone else even worse. And that's how it works, I guess. And they are the conclusions of a 40-year-old man. I don't claim to be I don't claim to be, you know, the fucking know it. You know, these are just my opinions. Could be a fucking ball of shite for all I know, but I'm at least trying to be as accurate as possible. Boom boom, a Skynet job, August 4th. You're filthy. How are you, lad? Good to see you back. Good to be back, mate. Thank you very much for that. They did not ask chat. They did not ask GPT-4. Is there a god? It replied, there is now. A bit concerning that, isn't it? Ooh, unless it was just a joke. Mo always makes me laugh how Martin can discuss just independently philosophical topics and then have boys shouting, Durkin, I'm in your car, man, in the comments. Yeah, that's the way it goes when you combine deep philosophical chat with fucking idiosyncrasies from the West, such as, I fucking got that house trap now, man. Know what I mean? Fucking nice little accumulator back down, fucking down boy sports, man. Know what I mean? Grab for the fucking game, play it there, alright, the fucking three-way, man. City coming in, man. I wanted to get Hartlepool there and maybe fucking Leverkusen. There is that too, which is equally as important as a philosophical chat. Okay, Roisin Mach. She thinks that too. Fair play. Hanson the second. How's the boys now? Fucking grand. Eddie Hash. Kevin Ian, how are you getting on? How's the weather over there? Ooh, the West Indies. Fucking tasty touch, man. Tasty touch. How you grow? Did he crack? Martin, I just watched your chat with Leilani and Gareth. Great conversation. I looked her up. That's pretty mad that she was married to a man who was married to Raquel Welch. Wow, yeah, that is pretty mad. Talk about spanning the two generations, or the three generations. I found a better pub. Oh, Graham Russell, the man, the legend. It makes my heart sing to know that you are out there watching this from the comfort of your own abode, sitting there with your feet up, nice pair of slippers on, probably a nice little bevy, probably a little glass of scotch, or maybe a nice, crispy, cold bottle of Peroni that you had in the freezer for a bit, and you're sitting there drinking that, and you got the fire burning away there, and you got the lamps low, and the shadow of the plants casting against the wall going, do you know what? That was an hard week of it, but fair play to Maloney. He's there doing the old live stream, mate. Do you know what I mean? Having a bit of a fucking bubble bath, having a laugh, having a giraffe talking to you all. Boom, boom, 44. It's a ball of shade. Ball in shade, Eddie. Do you mind people calling you Durkin already? Or would you prefer to be called Martin or Maloney? Well, I'll tell you this, Boom Boom 43. You can call me whatever you like as long as it's not too early in the morning. Speaking cash, you'd say. Buzz Cagney, do you worry that all this fancy talk will get you Epstein? Absolutely not. Because everyone else is fucking, literally everybody is talking about it. And the only difference is I'm saying it publicly. And fucking hell, man, there's a lot of people out there saying more hard hitting stuff publicly. It is what it is at this stage. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, unless people have got the fucking head buried up an ostrich's arse, and that ostrich has its head buried in the sand, then you know. And there are people out there who still cling to the normalcy bias that everything's sound. Here's another thing: Europe in October, apparently they're going to get rid of cash by using the CBDCs. And yeah, central bank digital currencies, that's good, isn't it? So that means it all goes on your phone. And if you disagree with, they have your phone, and the only way of spending money is using the phone. What happens if your phone's dead? What happens if you lose your phone or your phone's robbed? What are you going to do then? They talk about just fucking marginalizing people. And I was watching Jimmy Dore there recently, and he was saying in it that, basically, if they do something that you don't agree with, or you do something they don't agree with, such as go and protest some sort of draconian shite the government has just brought in, then it's like, oh, what were you doing there? Sorry, we have to cut the old, cut your funds off. And that's why cash is king. And sure, they use the excuse of, um, terrorists fund their efforts by using cash, but like, do a better job at stopping them from doing bad shit then. Do you know what I mean? It's like, stop fucking about with in there where they come from, and let them do what they do in their own sovereign nations. Again, it's a debatable subject. Thank you very much for the super chat there, Shawneen Mioshkin. Cardinal Flanagan, what's the crack? Fucking grand now. Perez is a bookie in another life. That's right. Let me see. What's your favorite joke? Favorite joke? Off the top of my head, actually, my girlfriend said a funny joke the other day. It's a bit of a rude one. Apparently, she said this at a dinner party with her family at Christmas when she couldn't find it in the cracker. And she said, "What's the difference between jam and marmalade? You can't marmalade your cock up a bum." So yeah, that was quite funny. One of my favorite sketches, which I find using all the time, is hate to break it to you, Maloney, but I'm not from Trinidad. Like, I'm pure fed. I'll need you to come with me without a fuss. Guilty of independent thought. Ray Morning, long time no see. How you doing? Oh, Martin, hope all is well. That Kyle Mooney, the wing sketch with Andrew Garfield and Beck Bennett, where it's like, these wings are great. Anyone want the last wing? Your wings, Dylan. You decide. I haven't had any lunch. Maybe I could have that last wing. But the amount of times I use that, like I quote that in one day alone, is ridiculous. It's like any time we say carrots, it's like, why don't you have carrots over there by the fridge? So you won't be around to bother you. So the Wing Saturday Night Live one, that's a good touch. What's the story here? Anywhere from Tommy Schlug, another fucking Pete man. Aaron Shaz, how are you, Aaron? Would you get an electric car? See, the electric car is all well and good until the grid goes out. Whereas old diesel engine, man, fucking chip pan oil. But what happens if the chip pan oil jobbers don't work? But no, I think there's a lot to be said for the comfort of knowing you can just turn the key and drive, like Henry Ford's Model T that was designed to be powered off ethanol, which, funny enough, was the exact same time the prohibition laws on alcohol started. Funny how shit like that works, isn't it? It's almost like this big business that are basically calling the shots and fucking up people's lives and prosperity. And yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. Jonah Anderson. Sad to see James Corden go. Where's he fucking gone? The chipper. Fucking think like an eagle's talon, hey. Are you able to access the monies occurred from super chats while you're on suspension locked? I haven't seen any money from them in about 2 months. But I think, yeah, that would be mine. I've earned that. But we'll see. But yes, indeed. And for those of you who would like what you hear and would like to also throw a few quid into the mix, there is the link there. It's paypal.me/Maloney's Digest. The touch. And the touch is most appreciated. Any bit of a touch at all. Merci beaucoup for the sweet touches. So I'll get back to the comments now. Oh, you fucking rudders, hey. Where's rudders? Hey, Paul, fucking rudders, hey. I'll put the link out. We can have a little chat if anyone wants to come on. We've got rudders, hey. Mark Smith. Just because it's got a cool picture of Mel Gibson for the 80s, I'll do it in a Mel Gibson kind of voice. Martin, you should have come to the Crown in Wexford in May. Not Ennis Corthy. It's the Sligo of Leinster. It's Kip. No taxis exist. Well, look, we'll be there next day. What you make of the England raid signal through text? Well, I was in England at the time, funny enough, and I thought I was in a pub in the Shaw in Harrow enjoying a couple of fucking Magners, and it went off, and I thought someone was just very gently breathing into a mouth organ. It was like, and so I was like, what the fuck's going on? And I was like, did you get that, man? Ah, yeah, you got that fucking message. Oh, there's a message. No, what's it about? Like, um, let me see. Kev Ball says, my friend's bank got hacked, no fault of his own. They took their sweet effing time sorting it out, while meanwhile he was locked out with what little cash he had on hand. Don't get me started on big banks. Wankers. There's a reason why the bankers sound like wankers. Also, I was going to say, I got fucking done for 60 quid by just turning my phone on when I entered Mexico to try and like get off airplane mode. Honest mistake, happened instantly. Next thing, I get a message from Convict, the Swedish phone provider, saying that I was out of data. So I didn't have any data going around the States nor the UK. Thanks to Brexit, there is now a fucking pain in the ass. We're getting free shit. There are a lot of upsides to the EU, in that being one of them, and the free travel and Schengen and whatnot. Now, rang up the phone company today and I was like, I just literally turned my phone off airplane mode, and they were like, oh, sorry, you're gonna have to pay it because everyone could say that. I'm like, yes, but you can probably see when it happened, and they were like, yeah, but yeah, no. I was like, oh, thanks anyway. So I had to fucking pay the full fucking whack today. Dr. David, Mensch. Any truth to the rumor you're making an erotic version of Home and Away, said Nicosta State. Do you know what, man? Wouldn't be a fucking bad idea at all. Wouldn't be a bad idea at all, Dr. David. Got it. PayPal going forward. My man Sean, give them fuck all, man. They're taking 30% off you anyway, the bastards. Fucking rudders on the Anish Gabar. I'm on the peach flavor soplika, which I have to say it's grown on me somewhat. But I'll have to go and replenish the glass. Missy, how are you doing? Good to see you. She'd watch that, would she? Ha ha ha. You Gale girl. How are you, Maloney? Do you know any Mayo Roonies? Couple of boys been showing for a day. Block layers. Is there any ways to see a horse? Seen Mr. Colgan in January in Wexford and had an old chat with him after he's a sound man. Yeah, if you follow me on Instagram and follow the cowboy, he's putting up the gigs. I don't even know where we're fucking playing yet, but it's around the 21st, 2nd, 3rd of May, I think. Look at the rosy cheeks on this kid. Oh, got a bit sunburnt walking around the town today, hey. Aaron Shaz. Hey, my man, just wondering what Francis Viper is like when you first met him. Also, thoughts on Hector or Hinahan or Hekahan. I can never say his name. Sorry for the double question. Good question. He was very in real life. He was like, "Are you mine? Are you from? I am. My mum's from Liverpool. I actually from Liverpool." And he was funny, and he'd clocked Resident Evil 2. And I was like, "I haven't played it. I never. Is it any good?" And he's like, "Yeah, you can borrow it." And he let me borrow Resident Evil 2 with the PlayStation World read through, and I was like, "Oh, fucking good old game." He was funny. He was cheeky, and he was a good little footballer. And as the years progressed, he was like my younger brother, but unfortunately, we don't really speak that much anymore. I wish him well. So that thoughts on Hector? Yeah, he's funny, man. He's anytime I've met him, he's been nothing but sound, and he's fucking done well for himself because obviously he's got the fucking charisma and the chops, and he knows the right people. Hey, and the fact that he's completely fluent in Irish is really cool as well. Something I always wish that I could do is converse fluently in Irish, and unfortunately, I was a bit too old when I moved. And Scratchy, Mr. O'Connell, God rest him, he was like, I won't teach you. I can't teach you. You're too old. I can't fucking teach you. No. I was like, all right, chill. So I felt I missed out on that. Phone companies are all frigged. Yes, they are. I mean, do you even need to charge that much anymore? It's in the Bailey in Enniscorthy, not a bad old venue. Got an old few hand shandies in there, back in the day of discos and late bars. Hey, sounds like a fucking great spot altogether, man. If that's where the gig is gonna be, fucking come along, man. I might even couple of hand shandies in for you. I don't know. Ah, Martin, your dad drank all my cherry beer. And the time with Paul Maloney. When I said to him that my dad said, I said, you drank all Chris's cherry beer? And he was like, I tell you one thing, son, it didn't even touch the fucking sides. And when I said that to Paul Maloney on the Lexus podcast, which you can hear on this channel going back, it's one of the funniest fucking bits. Like me and Rod, about 3 years ago, we were having a really nice rollover session going around the old town in Stockholm. It was one of those weekends where just been divorced, or like it was official that the relationship was over, and I was like, fine. And I had gigs over the weekend, and it was one of them for the first time in years where I was like, oh, in Sweden, I was like, I'm gonna enjoy a nice languid saunter through the old town with my main man, Rod Wad. No better fucking man for having great crack with, and just wander around the town and drinking. We're drinking here, we're drinking there, we're drinking here. And then we discussed that story, and the punchline of it was so funny that myself and Rod nearly cried with laughter. But it was good, good days, Rod. It was good days, good days. I'll see you. I'll see you there. And if there's money and wanks, I'll be there. Sure, why wouldn't you? Shawneen says, what's the story with the Irish Eurovision hipsters sacking their man because of some J.K. Rowling talk? Soft hands. I've no fucking idea, man. I've no interest in Eurovision. I think Eurovision is one of the fucking daftest things ever to be foisted upon Saturday night television. And here in Sweden, of course, the fucking droids love it, man. They love a good drop of Melodifestivalen, which is some of the fucking daftest shite I've ever clapped eyes on. And believe you me, I've clapped eyes on a lot of daft shite in my time over the years. But this Melodifestivalen isn't even the Eurovision. What this is the competition leading up to the Eurovision that sees the same flamboyant and jaded fucking rock stars, boy bands, emo bands, girl rock bands, all these fucking gobshites every year doing the same. You see, that's the thing about Sweden. Me and Wad were talking earlier on this evening. They really love the same thing all the time without deviation from formula. It's like it's the lifestyle and consumption culture of somebody. I'll go one further. It's the lifestyle and consumption culture of that man who was outraged by Findus lasagnas, which he ate 3 times a day every day of his life, and finding out that it was indeed mixed with horse meat. That is basically the entertainment crack value of Swedish entertainment television. Oh, it was Johnny Logan, was it? Okay, he thought he was fucking Johnny Logan after 25 cans of Pratsky. Carl Strayberger, how are you, Carl, man? Any fucking crack? I haven't seen you for a while, man. Do you know what I mean? Shawneen says Eurovision is a large virtue signal fest. That's daft fucking shite, man. Really is. Like, I used to watch it when I was a kid because it was just something that was on in the house. But nowadays, I mean, is it on now? It might be on this weekend, and if so, it marks 20 years since before I went back to Greece, which led me then to Sweden, which takes me full circle because I was talking about another fucking thing that really annoys me about coming to Stockholm is when you fly into the arrivals course, and you go to the baggage carousel. There's some very neatly, like, along the whole wall of the baggage claim, a very long hall with a very long wall of some of the most conceited fucking Swedish automatons who have done well. But underneath it's like Bjorn Borg, tennis legend. Joel Kinnaman, acting legend. And welcome to our hometown. So I was saying today, to the girlfriend, I was thinking, it could be quite funny if I was to actually ring up Stockholm Airport, right, and say, "Hello, is this Stockholm Airport?" And they're like, "Yes." I was in Mark Maloney here of the Hardy Books and Maloney's Digest, a little corner of YouTube that has a very great, vibrant community surrounding it. And I've noticed on many occasions when coming into Stockholm, it says "Welcome to my hometown" and features the faces along the wall of many people who have done well in the field of science, academia, criminology, entertainment, arts, sports, business, philanthropy, so on, so on. And I think, why can't I have my name up on the Welcome to My Hometown arrival hall, as I've spent half my life here? And I have indeed got a TV show in Ireland that has become rather popular in the cult classic realm. Can I also get one? No, sorry. Or maybe yes. Sorry. So either way, it'll make for a good story. I think I'm going to do this next week. Okay, what else have we in there? Roisin Mack says, as soon as you said Johnny Logan, I heard "Hold Me Now," that bloody song. PTSD says Sean, Snakevished. Eurovision is class, no debate. Reasons not to become a legend. Yes. I'm hoping Sudan has a strong showing. Okay, Wad says, Eurovision was class when we always won it. After the breakdown of the USSR, Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia, etc., even Dustin couldn't get us over the line. And that's very true, Wad. That is very true, kind sir. You should be at least on the cover of In Flight Mag. They'll be like, don't go there. This nutter comes from that part. You should do a similar wall in Castletown with Uncle Mick on it and just throw people like Liam Neeson and Colin Meaney in it, even though they have nothing to do with the town whatsoever. Okay, so you know what I'm going to do? We're up at 46 minutes now. 46 minutes. I haven't even got into talking about the crack in Iraq. I mean, in America, in Arizona. Some very funny shit happened over there. So I met the legend that is Matt Strangeways. And one thing I would really like to say about Matt, who sorted the whole thing out, fair play to him, and he very kindly came to pick me up in San Diego, and we then drove through the desert, which I then experienced 4 different types of desert ecosystem, which is pretty cool. And then, yeah, he basically he's often mentioned Greenhaven on the stream many times, but I can't strongly recommend enough checking out his band Greenhaven. Like I was having a good listen to him when we were driving around, blazing hazing around Phoenix, and I said, you know what, this sounds like where Queens of Stone Age should have gone after Songs for the Deaf, in my opinion. So please give a little touch there on Spotify and get Windigo and Greenhaven. And if you haven't already, please download or like follow me on Spotify, Martin Maloney EP, Constant Battle. It was called Constant Battle because life in Sweden is a fucking constant battle. And going over to the States, I realized like it's a fucking class place, man. We've got shout out to the boys at Monster Jam. I said to them, when are you going to be? So I got friends who built the track, for Monster Jam. Good fucking lads, man. And I said to them, when are you going to be in Arizona? So they said the 14th. I got on to my main man, Matty Strangeways, and we timed it perfectly. Everything was good. So we went to Monster Jam. It was fantastic fun. I mean, we were at State Farm arena in Glendale, and man, that thing is massive. And when you're looking at the monster trucks, they look tiny. I was like, fuck me, man. Shit. Some of the size of the vehicles over there, man. Like, I've seen just casual, like, SUVs that are like the length of a minibus in Ireland. It was fantastic. I had magical crack. Met all Matty's mates. I met a guy called Hollywood from Georgia. He was working as a hotel night porter, and he was a very funny guy too. In Georgia, they got good manners down there. They speak real proper. Let me see. Jungler's Massive said, I spent 6 months in Strange Ways. Let me see. Let me see. It was fantastic. The thing is, I did like Matt when we first arrived was like, "Oh yeah, you need to drink some water." I was like, "Why?" And then when we got out to the desert, you can actually feel it dries you out, and a lot of people succumb to dehydration and exhaustion pretty quickly. And not the kind of place you want to be fucking stuck, you know. So he flew to San Diego non-stop. Oh, fucking, there was a lot of stops, man. There was a lot of stops to the correct later. Hey, oh ho ho. It was an adventure, put it that way. Didn't really get to see much of San Francisco, though we were on the outskirts of it. But I did hear in 1997 there was a Tyrannosaurus Rex and its infant that had washed up on a boat that was attacked by tetradons. But they did manage to get the Tyrannosaurus and the baby back on the boat at the end of the event and brought it back to the island of Costa Rica where it lived. I think they built something out there. It was like a Jurassic themed world of dinosaurs that were in an enclosure, but they had some problems. And yeah, so but they did. Mother and baby were relocated safely back to the island from San Diego. So. In Clancy, may I ask, Eddie, Durkin has a British accent? Well, it's just the fucking way it is, man. It's the way it is. I was born and raised over in fucking Merseyside, hey, it was full of Irish tough cunts, and they moved back to Ireland when I was 12, and now I have a weird hybrid accent going on. Did you at any point feel unsafe or awkward? Well, when I literally just landed in and I was jet lagged and confused, I was a bit like went for just a pint with Matt, and I was like, "Fucking hell, man!" In the beginning, I was overwhelmed with the feeling of like, I know this place from TV. I've been here before, but not in this, but like not in San Diego before. But I was like, I did feel that it was a very familiar culture. I've been to the States, but I haven't been for a long time, and I was like, speak the same language, but there's different customs, and I'm on the other side of the planet. Um, but for most part, everyone was really, most people they were grand. I can't say that I did feel unsafe at any time. And I mean, Phoenix. I know that there's rough parts of Phoenix, but I have to say Phoenix is fantastic. I was really taken back at how. I mean, we spent a lot of time in downtown Phoenix. Didn't really get to see any. We went to see the zoo with Matt, which was fantastic. Um, but yeah, it was really nice. Everyone was very polite, and yeah, I think the weather has a lot to do with it as well. Just it's pretty chill, and the heat was nice, and I didn't get burnt either. Fucking put the old sun cream on, which I'd forgotten. This very sun cream here, which meant to bring with me, but forgot that. But fair play to Maddie. He also brought the old sun cream, so I didn't get burned. Uh, Dinosaurs. Oh. Um, did you just drop acid? Oh, fucking shelved it, man. Top shelf. Know a few Clancy's up our way, hey. Oh, Glad Rodders. Sparky's joint. I'm a newly retired disabled veteran and was thinking of moving to Ireland. What would be a good small time town somewhat near Dublin to move to? I need a new adventure and getting the shaft for too long. Well, you could probably move somewhere around. Uh, if I were you, I would probably move to Westmeath somewhere before the Shannon. If being close to Dublin was something that you wanted to do, because all those satellite towns like Leixlip, Mullingar, Kells, all these kind of places, they're in the commuter belt for people who drive to Dublin for work and that kind of thing. Rush is a good, yeah, Rush or Skerries, but you'd be paying top dollar, man, top dollar. But if you wanted to go somewhere where maybe it'd take you like an hour to drive, um, Castletown, Gagan around there, it's a nice rural part of Ireland, but it depends. But yeah, that's what I would. If you wanted to be close to the city of Dublin, but also close to the rest of the country, it'd be good to be somewhere in the middle of Ireland where you can get to that in equidistant time. Navy TV. Do they sell Frey Bentos in Scandinavia? Who's president of Cuba? Fidel Castro. No, tell them what you said. Frey Bentos. Not public. Is there any truth to the rumor about Hardy Books the musical? Chris Tordoff wouldn't confirm or deny on his live stream. Well, we did a bit of a Hardy Books musical, which unfortunately we lost the scripts and everything to, and it was never recorded. But I devised the idea of doing a musical, which was um, which turned out fun. It was like there was a rap song, and we did like a choreographed move where we were all like, obviously it wasn't like fucking Backstreet Boys or anything, but it was like, he's bad, he's dodgy, but I don't like bad things done to women. He's bad, he's dodgy. So yeah, it was good. It was good crack. Did you bring back any baubles from your travels? Plenty of fucking fridge magnets, hey. Plenty of fridge magnets from all over the spot, man. Oh, the amount of traveling I did. Not public. Is he back streaming? He fucking is, boy. Oh, who the Viper is? He back streaming? Oh, he's on Late Late Show. Yeah, close enough, man. And these boys are going to go very far. And what's your name? Keith. You've got a great chest. I've noticed. Do you wax the chest, Keith? I do, yeah. Boys own, everybody. Yes, indeed. Did Chris video the event bits and pieces? So basically the parts that we got, we're gonna just upload them onto a Google Drive, and then our boy Eli over in Los Angeles from Gothenburg is gonna put them together and see how they look. So, Rodders, hey, Rodders, jump into the chat, lad. Fucking jump into the chat, lad. Rodders, hey, I'll fucking tell you straight up here and now. Sherry Conley versus Eminem, man. I'll tell you fucking straight up here now. Anybody out in the chat now, out in the chat, man. You know what I mean? Up there in the fucking mountains, man. Yeah, it's got mountains, all right. Be nice to get Reese on for a chat, man. Reese, if you're watching this, mate, how you doing? It's been a long time. No see. Larry Anthony. I'm not saying it was aliens, but it was aliens. New season of the books. What's news? Got an email today, actually. One way or another, there's going to be something happening this year, and I'm gonna make fucking damn sure that it has to be done. Too drunk, big man. They're drinking shandies all day. No worries, hey, no worries at all. But yeah, one of the things from Stephen Kelly is one of the funniest fucking people I've ever known, man. Like, he's just always been such a fucking good-hearted lad. And when he came into the live fold a couple of years ago, he looked at us boys and he's like, lads, what are you fucking complaining about, man? Sure, you're being fucking paid to go on stage. People tell you how fucking class you are. Getting fucking free drink in hotels. What? There's only fucking 4 kids to feed. And I was like, from that day, I was like, Stevie gets it, man. Stevie gets it. And to see how far Stevie has come on his own steam, man, fair balls to him. And then the privilege, man, of sharing a stage with him and the crack that we both had. We need to get ourselves a good American booking agent who can get us the gigs. So if you know of any boys, put us in touch. But we'll rock the house. Robbie Williams, when I rock the mic, I rock the mic right, and all that crack, like, do you know what I mean? Fucking rock DJ and the boys. Oh, Sounds of 2000, Summertime, Witness Festival. Oh, shifting. You did his voice. Yeah, sure fucking did. Fucking runners, hey. We were in London there last weekend. It was good old crack. It's funny when you go. So I came from. I was so jet lagged when I came back. I went from Phoenix, Minneapolis, Amsterdam, Stockholm, and then getting back from to Stockholm. And when you travel eastwards with a 9 hours time difference, you'll fucking feel it, boy. So I think I was traveling for 24 hours. Got in and the clock was 1:30 in the afternoon here, and the clock that my circadian rhythm had gotten used to was 3 a.m. And I tell you, I didn't know what fucking planet I was on. And then I was going to bed then, dreaming, but I thought I was still in Arizona. It was a bit like the time when I was a kid. I'd go over to Ireland for the summer and have a great crack. The granny's place. It'd be fucking lovely. You'd be at home in Ireland, and then you'd wake up in England, still dreaming about being in Ireland. You wake up all sad because school is fucking starting, and coffee stained, smelly breath maths teachers like Mr. Cull getting ready to talk absolute fucking jargon at you. The bucktooth bastard. It was like a cross between Borat, Freddie Mercury, and Alf, the space creature. Almira boys. Any news from stateside or the Schleegach Bootles? Stateside sent me a picture. He dyed his hair red. That's about the update on him. Feeling the dream. And the Schlegel boys, not a word, man. They've gone awful quiet lately. I think they're doing a fucking J1 over in Maserati United. Don't go messing with the melatonin. Oh, it's great stuff if you can get it. You can buy it in the shops over there. But over here, it's like, you need a prescription for that. You need a fucking prescription for toilet roll here next. That'll be the crack. Oh, people going around. One man wiped his arse too much. He didn't have an arse left. Just a cavity. Hack of metal. Schleigo boys. A shat in the bucket. Shat in the bucket. Right, well, yeah, that's about all for me. But please, as a reminder, go and start the little channel. If you haven't got an Odyssey account, just do it in case I get thrown off. And if we get a good few followers over there, then we can also do streaming over there. But the crack is here now on the YouTubes. They're awful men all together. For anyone who rocks the boat at all, they don't like it. They do not like it. I don't know what the fuck has made them so soft in the head, why they've gone awful weak, soft handed. I think they've been spoiled and babied, and they're going into a place now where they don't have to buy any lunch. The lunch is included. They don't have to do any laundry. They bring the dirty laundry in. They get free chocolate bars, free soy milk lattes, whatever they're getting. They're getting it all handed to them. And it's making them very soft because they're not out there working hard. They're not out there getting their hands dirty, doing a bit of tarmacking or laying pipe. They're getting very soft, and they're being affected by microscopic aggressions and daft old made up old shite that even my own mother would say, to see a lot of things. You know what they are? Soft as boiled shite. And that's not a slant on the average person working there, no, but I heard it's a very fucking soft place to work. And soft place to work would make you soft. Police raided a home of a 70-year-old pensioner for excessive butt wiping. Anything more than 2 sheets is jail. Oh man, there was I was watching a bit of Gerald Salente earlier on. I'm gonna play you this because I was gonna upload it to the intranet and that, but he's such a spy. It's basically like having Paulie Walnuts discover or discussing like global trade and whatnot. But have a listen to this. This is beautiful.
I'd like to say that politicians love 2 things: jocks and movie stars, said J.C. Bradbury, professor of economics at Kennesaw State University. Any sports team that wants the subsidy, they'll get it. Movies seem to get it as well. What fucking horseshit? Warning, bullshit alert. Stealing my fucking money to give it to these fucking clowns. That shows you what shitheads are in charge. And the people, they don't know a fucking thing that's going on, but this guy's right. They know every fucking celebrity. Fucking people play something who they're not. And a guy that knows how to kick a football or catch a baseball or kick a soccer ball. They know every fucking one of them and don't have a clue what's going on in the world. And these dickheads, and I can't say the other word, steal our fucking money. It's fascism. It's the merger of state and corporate powers.
So you get the crack. But I just love the way an Italian-American old guy like him just loses it and starts swearing. I like that. It's very refreshing. If there was a penny in bed, YouTube sleep on the floor, and that's where they. Larry Anthony, how's the bold Uncle Mick and Lexus these doing? I spoke to Lex a couple of weeks ago. He's doing well. I've not spoken to Uncle Mick now, but I'll have to go up and see him when I'm back in Ireland next week. The anti-toilet paper propaganda is just a plot of big bite it, don't give in to them like. Yeah, he really is, man. He's fantastic. Lexus had to be locked into the shed again. Oh, do you like the time when we were like, there was an old bone and we just knocked the bone on the keg like it was his own special doorbell? It was like, ding, ding, ding. Ooh. Is that Mickey from Rocky? Rocky, you son of a bitch. Christian Morris brought me to Odyssey. Well, I don't know who he is. Was he led to Brassai? And Odyssey, Maloney's Digest, please. It would be fantastic to see if he has followed. Another thing, Greenhaven, lads. And I just want to say an official from myself and Stephen Kelly from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you to Matt Strangeways for absolutely looking after us and giving us a magical time over there, man. It was fantastic. And Phoenix, fucking great spot, man. I'll be going back again. Bobby Becker Law. I love it when Junior slips in the shower and he's like, "Your sisters." But I think I'm going to wrap it up here. This is a short one. It's good to be back. I'm going to set up a backup channel called Maloney's. Oh, Maloney Strikes Back. And so we might, once I announce it, I'll say, just give us the old, and look, I know what it's like. I can't be harsh doing that, man. Too much hassle. I fucking have to get out of YouTube then. Got to go into the other one, and I don't know what's going on over there because the interface is so fucking shite. And I don't understand it. But look, it's a good fucking backup, lads and ladies. It's a good backup. Right. Very nice to be back. And it's a shame that we didn't have YouTube for when we were over there, so we could have streamed, but we'll do it again. Twitch, that's only old soft lad stuff. Later, next mission, says Kevin Ball. Brennan Splendid, God bless. Thank you all very much. Have a fantastic weekend, and it's great to see you all again. Much love to you. And we might even do one on Wednesday. We'll see. But I've been editing kind of just a little bit on the phone of clips. So I might just cut together a little taster of what happens, and then when Chris releases the second one, we'll see what the edit can do. But it'll just be a collection of clips. But God bless America, God bless Ireland, God bless Sweden, God bless wherever the fuck you are. Just God bless us all, and have a great weekend. Thanks for sticking around, and thank you very much for the super chatters and for any of those who want to donate. Maloney's Digest at paypal.com. Anyway, good luck and good bless to you. Thank you. Good night, good bless.